Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. Today in Overwatch news we got a couple pretty interesting things happening. We're gonna start off with GDC, the Games Developer Conference that happened in San Francisco just earlier this week. And Blizzard tend to be there talking about Overwatch or some of their other games. Quite a lot of different interesting presentations over the years actually. This time around, Blizzard's research developer Natasha Miller went over the two new social features that we saw last year, Endorsements and Looking for a Group. Most of you guys watching this channel already know the story of LFG, what it kind of does, how effective or not effective it has been, but the endorsement part was pretty interesting actually. It was highlighted how toxicity had been a problem in Overwatch and still is to some degree, and also explained how a big problem with online games and the internet at large is just a lack of consistent social norms, and how Overwatch has had to deal with that in a lot of different ways. Endorsements was Blizzard's way to not only just have people be rewarded for being good players and being nice to each other, but also for people to be able to bounce back, according to Natasha Miller as well, after being penalized and such. So if you behave well again and you start getting endorsed again, that's something that you'll notice. Apparently it has worked as well. The system makes people nicer, according to Miller. And I know a lot of people will highlight back when the endorsement system launched how a lot of people were kind of like fake nice to each other. But regardless of which one it really is, I think everyone can agree that there has been a bit of a change, for sure. So much so that toxicity is down 40% according to Blizzard here. And that's since last year's addition of those new social features. And that's a step in the right direction to say the least. So I'm glad we've gotten past this part to some degree. I do recommend checking out some other GDC talks as well. You got gems such as Tim Ford discussing the netcode and other things.
Hello everybody, this is Overwatch Gameplay Architecture Netcode. Standard rules apply. Silence your phones. Fill out the session feedback form. Switch off Hanzo and get on the fucking payload.
Moving on from that though, with more news this week, just yesterday the Overwatch League was actually starting to be shown on ABC. This is because the Overwatch League Stage 1 playoffs are going on right now. You can have a watch of the final tonight, hopefully around the time that this video goes out. But yesterday when Overwatch League started showing up on ABC in North America, a huge national TV channel, a lot of the ABC audience and a lot of them not watching Overwatch League normally obviously noticed this, and it was pretty interesting to follow on Twitter. There is a video game championship competition on ABC and the hype, announcers and production is a bit much. The world as we know it is truly officially in decline, said this guy with a Minions avatar. You also have great highlights such as Overwatch playoffs on ABC, World War III needs to start like now, from some other random person on Twitter. Overwatch League is on ABC right now. I can't think of anything more boring to watch than some pre-adolescent kids playing video games. But it wasn't actually all bad, as we also had watching the Overwatch League for the first time on ABC, and goddamn, this is entertaining as fuck. As well as several people reporting that their older parents or grandparents were watching the Overwatch League as well. Went to visit my 95-year-old grandmama and she's watching Overwatch League on ABC. Breaking news, ABC forces 50-year-old men across the world to watch evil game Overwatch. And honestly, I love following stuff like this because esports breaking into mainstream sort of media, I guess you could say, but especially actual national TV is just always hilarious to follow. I remember back in the day when StarCraft 2 started being broadcasted fairly regularly for a while on Swedish TV actually, and that was by our kind of like state media as well, and it's always really cool to see reactions of that. Either way, I would say that across the board the reactions were actually leaning a little bit more towards being positive than negative, but it was most definitely a mixed response. But again, I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff like this and of course watching the playoffs tonight. Definitely do check that out. Finally, just a reminder, next week we should be getting some teasers once again for the new event that's coming up in not too long, Overwatch Archives. It's been a little bit of an uncertainty whether or not there will actually be a new mission or not. I feel like it wouldn't really make much sense to not have a new mission, and with how clear Jeff has been previously when there hasn't been any new content for events. He announced it early for the Halloween event and the Christmas event, saying there's not really anything new in there other than the skins. I feel like it would be weird for them to just stop doing Overwatch Archives, the arguably most successful event in Overwatch that tells the story of the universe and scratches that itch for an Overwatch campaign like nothing else can really do. It just wouldn't really make any sense to just cut a new mission entirely from that plan, so I do think we will be getting one. Either way, keep an eye out for that teaser. It's gonna be on this channel, hopefully in this next week. But that is everything for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more Overwatch content. Just a quick summary of the news. Until next time, take care and we'll see you then.